Hello everyone, today's lesson is the recreation of the Nintendo logo and the name GameCube, the GameCube logo, sorry, not Nintendo logo. And we'll learn, this lesson's basically perspective and orthographic camera view. All right, so might as well create a project and make it interesting than just simply explain perspective and orthographic camera and um, camera lenses and whatnot. All right. So before we can get started, you need two things. You need to go to fontspace.com and just search for GameCube or Nintendo font. And these are 100% free download, and you can use them to whatever it is you want. All right, so fontspace.com right here. And another one is go grab yourself a nice size Nintendo GameCube graphic logo like this, because we're going to use this as a projection, and we're going to trace this basically coming out of a cube. All right, so it needs to be like a orthographic aspect. Okay, you can't be using something that got skewed or they put a spin to it, like made it perspective and whatnot. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm gonna jump into Blender here, and we're just gonna use this default cube. All right, so a little bit different today. We're actually using the default cube. All right, so first thing is we got to match our camera to match this particular orthographic isometric logo right here. So you've probably seen a lot of Blender files like this, and it's going to be one of our future projects. It's like a cubicle room or like a 3/4 isometric view. All right, so you've seen it. It kind of looked like this, where they most likely got rid of those three faces right there, and then they're working on everything right here like a small room. But it's not perspective camera. Okay, if I go here to my Blender, select my Blender camera and go to its properties, it is a perspective camera. Okay, and we have panoramic and orthographic, right? Panoramic, you probably know what that means already. Orthographic, this is the flat, kind of always 45-degree representation of camera. So if we are looking at it in perspective, it looks like this, where objects that are closer to the camera are bigger. Of course, they appear bigger, and the further they are away from the camera, they appear smaller. Hence perspective, right? But let's say in reality, that's the same size cube. In orthographic, it does not shrink in size, all right? Because it's a kind of like, it's an orthographic view. Okay, so if I switch this to orthographic, there it is. So this is that style of that cubicle room that you're seeing on a lot of Blender renders and projects, which they're very cool. Okay, so let's also explain the way you view things in outside Blender. You're always in perspective like this. So if I go to number 1, which is the front viewport. Okay, let me turn on my screencast. Okay, it will hopefully kick in. There we go. Not yet. Okay, well, there you go. When you just press number 1 for front, number 3 for right side, number 7 for top, and of course, if you combine that with a control 1, you get to see the back instead, the left side instead, the bottom side instead. All right, they're all in orthographic right there, and they look flat. Okay. So let's make one more cube here so that we could explain this better. I'm going to move this back. So I'm going to use my move tool right there, move it back a little bit. Okay, and then move it up a little bit. Like so. And then we'll duplicate another one. We'll put one here right here, just so that we have some other elements in there. So if I press number 1 here to go to front, this is orthographic. Right, even though those things are in the back. All right, well, their defense though, they're not really that far, so let's make them a little bit farther right there. Okay, a little bit further back. So if you're looking at it through perspective, obviously right here, if I go number 1, orthographic, look, regardless how far they are, they don't shrink in size, all right? That's why we prefer to work in orthographic, especially when you're just starting. It's that you can easily arrange things. There's no optical illusion, right? Where you would get confused that things are actually things look like they're stacked, but they're actually not. Okay, so and if I press number 5 on the numpad, I'm still in front, but watch what happens. It switches to perspective. So 5 on your numpad switches from orthographic to perspective, and this is just the user working camera. Okay, and of course, if I go to number 3, side viewport. Okay, and then if we press number 5, there's the perspective. Okay, so we can do that also in camera, except we're looking at it in the viewport. I mean the parameter of the camera right here. So we change it from type to orthographic. Here's another example that a lot of my students they get confused at the beginning because sometimes they're working in orthographic. They mean to, but they accidentally nudge that by a hair. All right, and then they go to perspective instead, and it still looks like orthographic because it's not very extreme, and they start stacking things in all over the place basically. All right, here's an example where I'm gonna get 2 of this cube. All right, let's go to orthographic number 1. All right, so we know for a fact that they're the same, right? But I'm gonna pull one in the back like so. Okay, and then I'm gonna scale it. All right, watch this. When I rotate this one, it's kind of like those optical illusion kind of deal. All right, so let's see. So we can. All right, so right there, and I'm gonna scale it. I'm trying to match its position right here. All right, there we go. And we're just going to bring it up. And then we'll go like so. All right, so scale that a bit. All right, so I mean, if you're not really paying attention, those things would look like they're the exact same size and they're just kind of stacked. All right, so this is what perspective can do. It can do those kind of optical illusions. So if you're not familiar with Blender and you want to make sure everything is stacked, stay with orthographic, because the reality of things is that's what that looks like. Okay. All right, so for those wanting to recreate this, you need to match the camera and to make it look like this, and we can just kind of trace this kind of neat little trick. Okay, and then we can start modeling. Okay, so I'm gonna delete both of this cube. We want the one in the middle. All right, right there, and then let's go to our camera, press 0. Okay, we're pretty close. It's not aligned yet, so if I actually go to my wireframe right here, okay, you can see that it's not aligned, so we got to fix that first. But first things first, I'm going to select the camera, go to my camera setting right here, and then we're going to change this to orthographic. Okay, once we switch that to orthographic, you see that 45-degree angle and straight lines. Okay, and to match that exactly, we need to rotate the camera. So if I press N and then I go to my item, you could actually see my rotation right here. Okay, so if I rotate this, oops, sorry, I forgot to view lock camera. Okay, if I rotate this so that it would look exactly like that one right there, we want the point, we want the upper point here and the lower point of that one to kind of converge right there. All right, so that's actually not bad. Okay, except we need to do precision right here. So the numbers are actually 45 on the X, okay, 0 on the Y, and then Z is 45. All right. So this will give us that kind of GameCube look right there. So, well, okay, yeah, this is actually what that looks like. So I'm going to delete that, right? And then I'm going to bring it over here. Let's see if we can match it. Go to my photo, GameCube. I call it GameCube, or I call it Nintendo Logo Cube. Okay. Okay, well, it snapped to the camera. I didn't mean to do that. Let's just kind of open it up, undo. Just kind of look at it. It should be quite similar to it, including height. Yeah, I've tested this. I'm pretty sure it's 45 degree. That is the GameCube configuration. Okay, so we can't zoom out on a orthographic camera. So let's take a look at those numbers again. 45, 45, 0, 45. Okay. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't think it's, or is it 55? I'm trying to remember. It might be 55, 55, 0, and 45. Yeah, I think it's 55 and not 45. I'm trying to remember because I have to kind of figure it out first before I do my demo. Otherwise, we'll be here for a while looking at it. Yeah, that looks more like it. Let's see here. It's kind of quickly just. Okay, we'll see. All right. If not, we can change it to 45. All right. So now let's say that's a match. I'm pretty sure it's 45. Let's go back to 45. And I'm gonna go Z-axis here to kind of, right? You can't zoom in and out here in orthographic. You have to use the orthographic scale right here. So that's how we kind of zoom in or dolly back in the viewport. Okay. So there's that, and then we'll leave it like that for now. Okay. So now let's go to our shading, and we're gonna have to kind of position that in there. So I'm gonna put 0 right here. Okay. Select our object, and let's add a material to it, and let's just use that GameCube. Okay, so we're gonna go. By the way, you have to install that font in your system so you can use it, or you can put it somewhere and navigate and find it. Okay, let me see here. Nintendo GameCube. All right, so I'm just going to plug that. It's a base color, and you're going to see it pop up. It's going to be all over the place. Okay, and that's all we need right there. So here I'm going to go to UV edit, and Blender still thinks that the object is a cube. All right, and we haven't done anything. It is a cube, but we need to change its orientation. So this is pretty easy right here. We're going to unwrap this, and simply we're just going to unwrap it based on the view, project from view. Okay. So exactly how we're kind of seeing it here, or was it bounds? No, it's project from view right here. All right. So, yeah. So now this one right here, we just simply have to kind of match and position it right here. Then we can just go about in positioning it, okay, and cutting it. So let's see here. I'm going to press number 1. All right, put that in there. Put that over here. This is the front right here. So I'm just going to go G, Y. Right there. It's a little bit off in the center, so I'm just going to go G and put it like so. That point right there, GY. All right, well, there it is. Configured now. Let's see the 45 now. Remember what we talked about before. I mean, if it's actually 55 or 45 on the camera. Yeah, it is 55. Never mind. All right, so okay, so here we go. So it has a, okay, so it's 55,045. Okay, so on the camera, and then all I did was select this, select everything, and then unwrap, project from view. Okay, and then of course I move the corresponding points right there. Don't need to do that because you've seen me do it, and you can always rewind, and we're good to trace it. Okay, so right here we got everything we need. So while this thing is up here, we can just we can go to our color right here. Later on we'll basically select that blue color so that we can kind of match it exactly. Okay, so now let's work. Let's go to modeling right here, press 0, go to EV right here. Okay, and we can start cutting. So I'm going to hit tab to go to edit mode, or you can just go object mode, edit mode right there, and then we're going to do loop cuts, a bunch of loop cuts. Okay, so for the loop cut, Control R is the keyboard shortcut. So the first thing is I want a line right here. So if you position the loop cut on a horizontal line, you get a horizontal cut. If you position it on a vertical line, you get a horizontal cut, and vice versa. Okay, so I'm going to go like this and then slide it until it matches that line on that Nintendo kind of G right there. All right, and leave it. Yeah, we're going to need another one for this one. And simply slide that and kind of match it. All right, matches that. Okay, and then we need one for this. Okay, and we need one for this one right here. We need another one over here. All right, so we got that. So here, yeah, we already have that. So we just need this line over here. Control R, left click, screencast. Okay, and then we need another one right here. It's a little skewed right there, but that's fine because it's I probably need to do a better job with my unwrap. As you can see, it's lower, but that's fine. Okay, we have this one, so this one right here, we don't have it yet. All right, so let me go to number 3, and then let me select all this. And all I have to do is delete those X faces, and there we have it. All right, but the logo is see-through. So we're going to have to select all these. All right. And simply invert the selection, Control I, and X to delete, and faces. So there you go. There's the Nintendo Cube logo. All right. So I'm going to hit tab right here, go to object mode. We're going to get rid of, shading right here. We're just needing a color. All right. And let's see here, Nintendo logo. I'm going to click base color. So there's the eyedropper, and we're going to grab this one with the least amount of lighting. Okay. Excuse me. So there's that. Okay, now let's work on our lighting to kind of match this one. Okay, so first thing is I want the world to be completely dark, like pure black. So I'm going to go to the world tab, color, and then just bring that down to 0. It comes with one light already right here. So it looks like there's one light down here. Okay, We don't know the power yet or whatnot, so but let's select that. Okay, select that light and then position it over here. So that would be, let's go to the top. All right, we go to the top right there. It should be down there, right? Okay, so let's grab it. And then G and Z. Lower it down here. Okay, I'm going to use the gizmo right here to kind of match it. Okay, right there. Maybe lower the intensity. 500. 250 for now. Okay, just kind of matching it. All right, and looks like it's white light. All right, so next looks like there's one in the corner and maybe another one right here on both corners. So I'm just going to duplicate this light. Okay, I'm going to move it up just so that we know exactly where we need it. I'm going to go to the top. All right, so we need it right here and over here. So I'm just going to move it right there. So it's lighting that part. Okay, and then Shift D, duplicate it. And then it's for that part right there. So we might need to actually move these two lights a little bit further so that they can spread the light some more. Okay. And then change the power to 500. 500. 1,000. Let's see the other one. All right, so let's press 0 here to kind of see. All right, that's not too bad. We just need them kind of get closer to the top right here. There we go. All right, and it looks like there's another light just for this part and maybe another one for that one, or just simply put it in the center right here. So I'm just going to grab this 1000-watt light right here, Shift D to duplicate it, bring it over here a little bit, bring it down, and that looks like a good position, except shouldn't be 1,000, maybe 500. Looks like actually they're a bit closer, higher, 250 or even less. Let's see. Spread out a little bit more so it's, you see that one kind of even right there. All right, there might be two lights here, so I'm going to duplicate this again. Bring this down a little bit over here. Maybe I'm going to spread it a little bit, so bring that up so it's not too harsh on just one corner. And then where's my other light? This one. Spread the radius a little bit also. Just kind of match the look on that one. All right. Okay, that's not bad. This one we can definitely position it here. Spread that just a little bit. Let's see if we can increase the power. 1500. Okay. Same thing with this light right here. Move it here. All right. This one is probably affecting it a little too much on that one. Let's go 100 watts. Any closer here, and we can increase the power right there. If I go to the top right here, it's probably a bad idea before, so it's hard to see where the lights are. I think this one, let's see if it's affecting, not too much, right there. Let's see what's, I think we need a little bit right here. There we go. Then duplicate this. That's the one that goes over here a little bit. Spread it a little bit. There we go. So we're seeing that gradient. All right. Okay, that's probably good enough. Okay, and let's take a look at lowering that down. Okay, and can tweak some more of the light if you want right here. Lower this down by maybe 1200. All right, and let's take a preview render. Okay, a little bit of tweaking. I need more blue right here. I think I lost that with I cranked this up. Is that the one I maybe lower the radius, but make it closer. Okay. I'm just kind of checking what they're affecting. So I can pinpoint the alright, so this is definitely the one causing a lot of that missing blue. Okay, no wonder. I got confused right there. It's actually at the back. See what happens when you rely on orthographic. Alright, I want it there we go. We still want it on this side. Okay, but well, maybe let's get rid of that. We just need the first light. $250. All right, now getting that blue right there because of where it's actually shading. Yeah, because depending on the angle, it's here we go. All right, good enough for now. That's one of the thing with OCD kicking in. You can't kind of move on to other things. All right, so let's go with that one, and then we can also get this one and maybe darken this up a bit, or actually it's not bad right there. All right, okay, so let's do a test render. All right, good enough for now. We could probably add a colored light right there to actually fix that. Okay, so next is we got to put the text. We're going to put GameCube at the bottom. All right, so we're going to need some space. We're going to need to back up this one just a little bit right there, and then go to Z, kind of move it up like so, and then let's go put a text in here. All right, and for the text, all right, so basically we're just copying the same position of the camera, so it's facing the camera. All right, so I'm going to just position it like so, and press tab to go edit mode, and we're going to put GameCube, all caps. Okay, hit tab, and let's kind of position this, and go to its text, go to font, and open, and go find the GameCube. I downloaded that, so I'm pretty sure it's still in my download at the bottom. There's go GameCube, click open font, voila, there it is. So you guys just have to install it in your system. If you don't have any rights to install it as a system, then you can just put it on a location, then tell Blender to just kind of go in there and find it. All right, I'll give this one an emission. Set a principled BSDF, so it's kind of lit up. All right, and let's take a look. Power of 3. Let's turn on ambient. Do we have screen space? Maybe. Bloom. Okay, too much bloom maybe. Lower the intensity. This one, forgot. Let's make it metallic. All right. Okay, that not quite. This one's more like just gradient and whatnot. Well, it's our version of GameCube. You can make it shiny and metallic if you want to, or make it super flat, make it lighter. All right, actually it's that color right there. It's kind of changing, so let's maybe grab, let's say that one. Let's grab another part. Okay, that's the light part, and then we can just go up right here. Maybe that will work right there. You can make it shiny if you want. Since it's metallic, let's clear coat ours. Okay, so it looks like it's all right, let's take a look. Render image. All right, there's the there's the GameCube logo with the GameCube font, and it's not exactly the same. We kind of did it a metallic and whatnot. So all right, that should complete this tutorial right here.